Another morning episode of Awoken with Alden. Back with you here in our nation's capital. We'll be talking all about the Iran war, the now consequences, days-long consequences of the total and complete shutdown, more or less, of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran off you got the Gulf of Oman over there, right? Persian Gulf, all that good stuff. Strait of Hormuz, we covered it on the show, about 20% of the global oil supply. So a critically big deal in terms of global oil, the global oil market, oil supply, and to China in particular. As we also know, China imports roughly 40% of their oil through this strait. So energy prices all over the world oil are kind of fluctuating in real time, kind of all over the place. So yeah, some wild stuff there. Yeah, nice. We're just gonna have to fight this today. Whatever. Okay. Getting a haircut later today, so won't have to deal with it much longer. Finally. However, if you were here last night for the Mississippi election live stream, hope you enjoyed that. We did a little breakdown and analysis of how some of the candidates. Wasn't particularly an important primary night. The race to succeed Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, that primary, I should say rather general election, was held last night. However, neither of the two candidates achieved the 50% needed, and we're heading to a runoff. There's a Democratic candidate, and then there were two GOP candidates that kind of split the vote up. So we'll head to a runoff in Georgia, in the Peach State, for that election. Mississippi, not so much. All of those races were pretty well decided by the time we logged off, so nothing crazy there. And tonight for Awoken Wednesday, happy Awoken Wednesday, everybody. We will be discussing the Kurds in particular. The Kurds, they are this week's main topic. We have heard about them potentially serving as a proxy army to the United States and Israel in hopes of invading Iran through some kind of ground force, boots on the ground somewhat. And the Kurds, their name has been tossed up several times to maybe be that group. So we're going to be learning all about them tonight. So, however, if it is your first time on the live stream, leave a comment. We are here at the nation's capital in Washington, DC, the Supreme Court building we got right here. We're going to be out here today for a little bit, taking your questions, hearing your concerns about politics and the whole shindig. Yeah, happy Awoken Wednesday, everybody. At Nikola Tesla says hi, hello. Hello, Mr. Tesla. Hope you're doing well this morning. Thank you for joining the stream. Have CD says hi, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Good morning. Happy Awoken Wednesday to you guys. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Crazy stuff happening in the last 24 hours, right? Another pretty big day in the geopolitical realm of things. Yeah, this hair is going to be bothering me all stream. Goodness. Oh well, it's getting cut off here in a couple hours anyway. But we're going to be walking around taking your questions today. Would love to hear from you. Join Mr. Tesla and CD in the comment section. Join the party. So another big day yesterday, just a little channel update. We're racing, trying to get to 500 subs. And we reached another, I believe, 16 people on the day yesterday. Had 16 new subscribers that joined the stream or joined the channel yesterday, the Awoken. So a wonderful day there. Oh, what's up, man? I'm what? Mm-hmm. What's up, man? Yeah. Always talking to new people in DC. Lots of school groups, right? Lots of other. It's around spring break. People are going to be doing school tour groups and all that. Okay, got a question. Oh, all right, 578 says, good morning, man. Good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And Rupo says hi. Hello, Rupo. And Fix It Ali says, America first or Israel first? America first. Yes, sir. We are America first on this channel. Prioritize our nation, our people, our neighbors, our loved ones, for sure. So yeah, man, we are. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And Rupo with a couple pink glove emojis. Ebony Hill says hi. Hello. Hello, Hill 5986. Thank you for joining the stream today. So everybody, if you're new to the channel, would love if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're growing every day at a rapid rate. We had a couple more subscribed during last night's stream as well when we were talking about Mississippi, the Mississippi Senate election. So, or primaries, I should say, rather. Okay, let's get a couple. Fix It All says you're on the correct side of history. God bless you, young man. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Nikola Tesla with the sunglass emoji. Yes, sir. We're out here once again in the front of the Capitol building. Going to be taking your questions and comments today. Can't stray too far from Capitol building today because I'm getting my haircut there, actually. So I always get my haircut in the Senate. Some of the best quality Senate hair care in town. 578 says, do you think Kamifora will ever turn red? I think there's potential. There's at least an exodus right now of just people abandoning the state. Now, it could be a mix of blue and red voters, right? So maybe it cancels out at the end of the day, but maybe give it a couple cycles, right? See how some of those suburbs kind of turn out, but it's going to be hard because the California, you guys, maybe you don't live there, but the state just redrew its congressional lines, and it's going to be a lot harder for Republicans to achieve political power within the state now than it was even 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's going to take a lot of effort, though. Mr. Jordonk says, haircut, laughing face emoji. Don't forget the fringe. Yeah, it's like this little piece right here. It's been giving me a tough time recently. I can kind of sway it a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna have to can't wait, actually. It's been a little while. Actually, a good question, everybody. Or good question, 578, I should say, rather. Razor Eater says, your look's fine. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Yeah, I still think it's good. It's a little bit of a time. It's been probably before the new year, honestly. If not before Thanksgiving, potentially. But regardless of the hair, we are here in Washington, D.C. for you on this Awoken Wednesday. Happy Awoken Wednesday, everybody. Glad you're on the stream this morning. We have a big show tonight talking all about the Kurds and their significance with this current conflict in the Middle East. We've been live Monday and Tuesday walking around. Okay, got a couple new comments. Razor says, have a blessed day. We don't judge people's hair. Don't worry. Blessed day with the kissing face emoji. Making my cheeks blush out here. And Wed852 says, I'm afraid of the Gucci glasses. Yeah, man, gotta keep the Versace, you know, gotta stay in the style. But don't be afraid. I don't bite. And Nikola Tesla says, I see Newsom winning over Vance in 28. That's what some people are starting to say. It's becoming a little bit of somewhat of a consensus online, I should say, among some people. He definitely could, right? So, now what Newsom's going to have to do is he's going to kind of have to correct his record a little bit. He's going to have to try to get people to forget about like all the homeless stuff in California and all that jazz as well. So he's got some work to do. I got a couple haters, awful glasses, and suggesting to put my MAGA hat on to cover the flying hair. We got Patrick says hi. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day out here wherever you are. Texas Jane says, hi. Hello, Texas Jane. Welcome back to the stream. Very nice to see you once again here on the Awoken Wednesday. Happy Awoken Wednesday, everybody. If you're new to the stream, would love if you hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like, join the comment section down below. We have a pretty good little debate about Vance and Newsom. Also talking about my haircut and my hair. Yeah, we're talking about California and my hair. Those are the two main topics for this evening, or this morning, I should say, as of now. Eric says, I just shook my magic 8-ball and it says doubtful. And Nikola Tesla clarifies, I'm not saying I support him, I'm just saying that's my prediction. Right, and who knows what the country is going to look like in 2.5 years as well. Like if there's another, there could be this Strait of Hormuz could crash the market. It could, the Republicans, like maybe something happens in the midterms. That's crazy. War in Iran could stretch out. Imagine if we're still at this kind of rapid rate with Iran even a year from now. That's just going to be a disaster for the Republicans. So, yeah, they'll have to figure that out. They got a couple things to figure out first. Okay, and 775 says, Trump, I'm mad, Trump bully, and liberal snowflake emojis. Yeah, let's get the... There we go. We'll hear what you guys have to think. Got today's poll question on the screen, on the board for you. And support the war in Iran. Hoping to hear your guys' opinions as we continue today's live stream. Buffalo Bill says, what's up? What's going on, man? You have a good day yesterday? Hopefully everything went well. Yeah, we're back at the U.S. Capitol, going to be kind of walking around Capitol grounds today. I got a haircut in a little bit, so I won't be able to stay on forever, absolutely, but I'll be able to stay on for another good little while. And we'll just take your guys' questions and see what's up. Yes, I went to the zoo. Awesome. And you have a haircut as well today. Very cool. Very cool. Zoo is always fun, right? Last time I went to a zoo, I went to the. I was in New York last spring. I was up there for Easter for a couple of days, and we went to, I think, the Bronx Zoo. That's the last time I've been to a zoo. I went to the Bronx Zoo around Easter of 2025. Yep. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was. It was fun. You know, and you went to that one. Very cool. Yeah, that was the first time I had ever been in New York, and the only time I have been since. I was there for like 3.5, 4 days, something like that. And I really enjoyed the city, to be honest with you. So I went to that one yesterday. Very cool. Excellent, excellent. Um, hello, Medi4335 says who you support. hmm Texas Jane says I've got my own wild kingdom. Laughing face emoji. Nice, nice. Hi everybody. Yeah, if you're just now joining the stream, thank you very much for joining this morning. We're taking your questions, talking about the Bronx Zoo, um, and my haircut, and conflict in Iran and California. Those seem to be the main topics right now. Got the poll question on the screen for you about war in Iran. So at PMEURU says, does USA look like 1933 Germany? I don't think so. 4335 says, non-real question, just join. Like, are you referencing the support on like war with Iran? Or yeah, like what's the question maybe trying to get to? Texas Jane says not hardly. Right, yeah. Medi says, yeah, who you support, Iran or US? Definitely on, yeah, going to take America's side. Yeah, we're always for America, certainly. It's really more of the, just like, should we be in this war? I think it's a lot of the questioning right now. Texas Jane encourages people to read about World War II. Sorry. At NPC's talk show says Free Palestine. And Euro says hi and greetings to America. Hello. Midi says, just trolling. Have a good day. Awesome. Yeah, would love to have you on the next stream. So please consider subscribing and leaving the video a like. And Lopez says, F this war, I'm not dying for Israel. Yeah, did you see the video of that officer, or not officer, the Marine, the guy running for Senate in North Carolina? You see when he was dragged out the other day? That's what he was saying as well. Um, and they broke his hand. So, Hill says, please focus, guys. He's trying to give a voice to the voiceless. Hair is just fine. Thank you very much. T705L says China has 15,000 soldiers, with each soldier capable of controlling 200 drones each. What's your thoughts on that? Sounds quite complex. Euro says, I am from Iran. Martin said, I did, bro, I did. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. Says occupied country. Patriot 3133 says, please stop this madness. NPC talk show, they break his hand, man. Jimmy says, no one wants to die for Israel. Patriot says, the war is getting out of control. Martin says, straight blackmail ring on all our politicians. Patrick says, hi. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Thank you to everyone here with us on Awoken Wednesday. A little bit about myself. I worked in the U.S. Senate for 2 years. Started this channel a couple months ago, trying to build a movement to help people understand, see what DC is like on the ground, right? I not only do live streams like this to talk with you guys, I also have an anchor show where we talk politics Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Tonight's main topic, we're talking all about the Kurds and their significance. So we'd definitely appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and join the Awoken. Okay, Patriot says the war should be stopped before it's too late. Griffith 7701. I think the worst design flaw with Jurassic Park was the use of spinning arrows on the road signs. Jimmy says Nick Fuentes called it. Roadrunner 99942 says no one wants war, but the people of Iran did ask for this. I don't blame them either. Cole Ald said Samson option this year, game over after that. Texas Jane says, I don't feel sorry for the hand man. He put himself in that position. Chuck says, awesome channel. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the compliment. Hope you're doing well, brother. Mr. Ubister says, long live the West. And prep school 9,255 says, LOL, the U.S. has like 5 years left in their lifespan. Mr. Who says they tell us about the aliens going to the center of the Earth in Antarctica before they release the files. Yeah, lots of similar conclusions becoming arisen, right? So that are arising. So good. Yeah, man, it is pretty. Yeah, a lot of wild and insane stuff happening recently. All right, got a couple of. Martin says, sorry, my bad, no more caps. What I meant to say is we voted for Trump for no more war, and he turned his back on us. Yeah, that's also a pretty common sentiment, I'd say, as well. And then 9255 says, say that one out loud, LMAO. I didn't see it. Sometimes YouTube, the filter will block a comment from reaching me. So I'm not sure the one in particular maybe that was referencing. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the one. Yeah, so some of this stuff gets blocked or filtered out. So we can't always see, not all of the comments make it through to me. I try and acknowledge all of them that I can, but Some of them just, yes, don't really make it all the way. Prince Payman 7187 says, why do I feel like YouTube is censoring my chat? I think you don't see my chat. Yeah, that's the first one I've seen from you, 7187. So maybe, yeah, when you guys are typing a message, maybe put, if the letter looks similar to a number, maybe you can try that, you know what I mean, to kind of get around the filter blocking of it. 46MD says, do you want Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon? Definitely would prefer that they are not in possession of the bomb. I think I think that part is absolutely in the best interest of the United States to prevent nuclear proliferation. But other than that, they don't really Iran, they're not much of a global threat to us on our maintaining global hegemony, right? Lewis 617 says free Persia in all caps. And then Martin Lopez says almost everything he ran on, he lied. If Trump hadn't run on letting the files go public, he would be fine. He dug his own hole. In my opinion, I supported him up until months ago. I think that's a timeline of when a lot of particularly younger people, I'd say around summer of last year, I think a lot of younger right-wingers grew pretty skeptical and pretty, I'd say, even upset with the president's actions. So I think that's, yeah, becoming a common viewpoint for the younger right-wingers for sure. Because you can tell it is kind of a generational divide, right? You have the, I would say the GOP is kind of split into two right now, in all honesty. High Society 420 says, send that 44% to the front line, referencing the 44% that of you guys that are in favor of war, that support war in Iran. 79 of you have voted already. A little more competitive than some of the polls we have done earlier this week. 4MK1 says it's his second term. He doesn't care what people think. NPC's Talk Show says, God bless you, bro. Have to go, and free Palestine. All right, brother. Much love. Thanks for stopping by this morning. Would love to see you in the future. Alan says, my comments are censored. Yeah, Alan, I think I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen your comments in a couple of minutes. Yeah. So, but would love to hear from you, regardless. Nikola Tesla says, hashtag send Lindsey Graham to war. Yeah, dude, that dude is, man, there might not be anyone happier on planet Earth that right now than Lindsey Graham. Like, seriously, that dude it's Christmas, it's his birthday, it's every special day of his life pumped when we bombed Iran. That dude like exploded with excitement. At PMEREU says, why would you even start supporting Donald? 9255 says, voting is a complete waste of time. I don't know why people still fall for it. B4S says, Lindsey Graham would be much happier if he came out of the closet. Billy says, bro, what do you think of Taiwan? That's another good question and topic. So I wanted to do a Taiwan episode a couple weeks ago. I chose Japan instead because they recently had their like snap elections. The prime minister, Takachi, the recently elected prime minister of Japan, called for these snap elections, and her party gained a supermajority in the Diet, the legislative body in Japan. So I went with that topic instead. But back on is that with her victory, China, or excuse me, Japan, they're going to start moving closer and closer to removing their Article 9 of their constitution. Because right now, all they have is a military defense force, or like a defense force. They don't have a standing military. So I sense them here in the next couple of years, or very soon, trying to beef up militarily, and hopefully they can kind of run point and help defend Taiwan. Because that would be great if they could take over that for us, like run point on Taiwan. Because we don't want to lose that first. It is a strategic interest to try and keep it as long as possible. So having a stronger Japan, that would, and South Korea, I think their economy crashed the other day because of the Strait of Hormuz stuff, or their stock market crashed or something. So if South Korea can kind of get a little better and Japan get stronger, then that makes our life easier with Taiwan. So good question. Sherry Ham says, laid it here. 775 at UNDA, tell us your story. War Ghost Squad says, fix your fade. XD, I think we had it then. Guess what he messed up. At someone says fastest says what, question mark. Lakeside Convenient says, if you had to choose, would you eat human meat cooked by Gordon Ramsay or eat some microwaved cat vomit? Oh, I don't know. Being a cannibal, I think that's I think they're both terrible. I think being a cannibal might be a little worse though, but I don't want no Jeffrey Dahmer meat sandwich or whatever. Both are terrible options. Fun question. Good fun question. War Ghost Squad says bye. All right, bye. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Billy says, I come from China mainland. I don't want war. Okay, tracking. Yeah, I think it is a heightened time right now. You just also think about it. China, there wasn't a whole lot of oil that came from Venezuela to China directly right now. So that didn't hurt. But if the Strait of Hormuz keeps happening, right, they're losing 40% of their oil come through the Strait of Hormuz, China alone. So right now they're becoming squeezed when it comes to that. Additionally, you have so they might feel like they need a military victory. 9509 says Jesus trumped everyone with praying emojis. Dirty Money says the draft will fix you kiddos. 8927, what is the topic? So tonight we're going to be talking about the Kurds, all about the history of the Kurds, Kurdistan, their history as a group, and their maybe potential role or impact on this conflict in the Middle East right now. Tex Cal says, why draft? I'd like to know, why would anyone bring up a draft? Is he or she? I'm not too sure what you mean there. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on right there. However, right now we're talking about war in Iran, Israel, talking about China a little bit. Hey everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, would love if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends. We're pushing towards 500 subscribers. That's our next goal. Trying to hit that threshold. So would love any support you guys could provide. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do these streams quite frequently during the week. We also have a political talk show in the evenings, Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, talk about deep dive of some topic. Additionally, I go to protests in Washington, DC, so I'm on the ground here in DC. I attend protests, do man on the street interviews, let you guys see what's going on. So absolutely there. Okay, got a couple, let's go back to the comments here. At Martin Lopez says, civil war between a draft. Just watch, we will not go die for Israel when we can barely support ourselves at home. And Dirty Money responds to another question because the question of Iran war was asked, why he brought up the draft. Martin Lopez says, I'll subscribe. And please read my comments though, big bro. Always happy to read your comments, man. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate your support, big man. Glad to have you on the team of the Awoken. Glad we crossed paths today. And Dirty Money responds with civil war, ? Laughing emoji. You'll run to Canada. Ooh. No problem, bro. You seem like you are an open-minded and give everyone a chance to speak. Like, yeah, dude, that's one of the reasons I started the channel is I can always share my own opinions, and I will, about what's happening in the country. But it's always fun to hear from you guys and almost be a mediator to what you guys are thinking about politics as well. So that's why I go to protests in DC and check out what's going on for you guys. Angela says, are you in Washington? Yes, Angela, we are. We are here on the National Mall, right in front of the United States Capitol building, on the other side of it, I should say. Just out here walking around, taking your questions, getting to know you guys better. Let's see, let's go to a couple of comments. Got a few new comments. Martin Lopez says, I already served. I love this country. I'm not running old. I'm an old man. 4329 says, hello. Again, hello. What's going on, man? Yeah, nice to see you last couple of days now. Thank you for popping back into the stream. B4S asks what branch of the military that that Martin served under. 2112 asks what Iran did against Americans. 4329 asked me, what's up? We're just out here this morning just walking around. It's a nice, cool day here in the nation's capital, taking your questions, getting to know more of you, and expanding the Awoken at a rapid rate. Got a haircut coming up, so won't be able to stay on forever this morning, but be able to stay on for a little bit, right? All right, so we got a question from HG6YQ. If you knew today that your channel would start World War III, would you stop? I don't think I would, because then I'd be able to cover the war so much. We'd have so much war coverage. And United States were back-to-back World War champs. So I would take our chances when it comes to that. All right. Good, funny question, though. Dirty Money says, did you serve, Martin? What branch? Army 74D Chemical. And B4S asked about What about you, Money? Uh, Basic, relaxing Jackson. This building will be public toilet. What about you, Dirty Monies? What branch? Wow. Army, what do you think nationality represents? When you say I love this country, what does that mean? I've been thinking a lot about since my country started being under bombs. Best way like American nationalist, right? I love America. I love my state in Indiana. I love DC. I love people in my life. I love my family, my community, my neighbors. I was a swimmer in college, so I love all of my teammates. I'm still good friends with all of them. Uh, Even coworkers, right? Like life is really short, and we have to enjoy it with the people that we're around, right? Whether it's your coworker or family, right? We got what we got, and that's what we're rolling with. So, um, yeah, it's just about wanting to be there for your country because uh, I was raised so well, right? Raised, raised right, um, wonderful family, blessed for the people I have in my life, and wanting to preserve that for the next generation, I think is something that I care about deeply. So, and just kind of being like, when you see your country on a downward spiral or it's not doing well, it's almost like more of a responsibility to help, to want to try and support your country and community. All right, back to the good question. Very good question. Uh, Lopez says, "What about you, Dirty Money?" Def not a Finn asked, "Do you support Trump?" Right winger, yes. We're just a little. I'd say some of us are just disappointed with some of the actions that have occurred recently, like the Epstein files cover up and war in Iran. I don't. We're neither of those were on the menu when we voted, so um, they do not represent you. Um, let's see. Since you also want to talk so much about going to war, are you just a warmongering civilian? Haha says he would never answer that question. By the way, I have 2 tours in Iraq, and your generation isn't ready. Before S says laughing face emoji. Money says 426 airborne, brag at 7989. I bet $10 seats a civilian. This is business, not war, but people die. I guess the questions are getting too real for him. Opinions on far right extremism in America. Uh, I think when there's like general, like actual, like violence or stuff like that, being, if that's ever promoted, it should be condemned, obviously. But I don't think words alone can, uh, like words can obviously be dangerous, right? Like especially in a heightened political climate, we sometimes want to be careful if we're referencing harm or stuff like that, right? But um, okay, let's go. Son of Thor 14 says, wipes a tear. Lopez says, I don't support this war because our boys should not have to die for this unjust war. That's just me, man. I'm not a coward. I'll fight, but we are fighting against our internet. We are fighting for Israel. B4S says, shit must be tough in the 1980s, though. Alleged an ES 103 alleged interests. River says, Iran very chill before I get involved. Lopez says, this shit is so sad, man. Our country falling apart and the people want to go to war. HG6YQ says, thank you for answering. Still a selfish answer, explains what's wrong with the world. Blitz78 says, I gave up on my country a while ago. Uh, Let's go to, yeah, there's a lot of comments, so I'm just going to go through a couple of these. Okay, nice. Yeah, got a good little comment stream going today. So, hey, everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, new to the channel, enjoying the conversation we're having, or you're enjoying engaging with our community members in the chat, would love if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That's one of the best ways you can support this channel as we are growing, trying to push towards 500 subscribers. That's our goal right now. So would love your support. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Regardless, though, thank you very much. Already 208 of you guys have voted. 57% do not support the war in Iran, and 43% of you guys are in favor of it. A little more in the pro column today. Usually it's closer to 35, 37%. So have a little more of a, maybe a little less of an anti-war crowd on today. But still, no has a decent chunk of a lead. So, yeah, we're walking around the U.S. Capitol this morning. Here's the Capitol building. I want to try to give you guys a little view of the Washington Monument. Stoned Aurora asked, do you like tea or coffee? Prefer coffee. Tea sometimes helps before bed if you get like sleepy time tea or something of that nature. But I'm usually a coffee guy. Lineman 383 says, I haven't been to UAE. And then LOL, nice. And then Iron Man says, I supported earlier, but oil, gas imports have impacted. That has increased prices by double. Otherwise, if America can solve the problem of price rice, then we can support during the war. Lion Man says, coffee is amazing. Thank God for coffee. Jill is actually asking why I look like a Jew. Don't get that one too often. I'm not a Jew. Stoned Aurora says, yeah, true. Lopez says, sorry, y'all, I'm just very anti-war. That's why I supported Trump. To be honest, I don't mean to be rude. B4S says, LOL, I sat down and this Arab straight up asked for that. 427 says, remember, I'm actually posting this and have been posting things like what I'm about to write well before the Epstein files. Joseph wishes everyone a good morning and says hello to everyone. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining the stream today. Casey says, you support Israel. We love your content, your country. You support our country of Israel. Martin says, what's up, Joseph? 427 says, Trostway says, I heard Putin say European nations messing with Trump's peace talks with Ukraine war. Huh. Yeah, I know. I think Trump and Putin, they had some discussions the other day. Because I think Russia, I know they sell a lot of their oil, but I also know they're going to benefit a lot with the Strait of Hormuz closing. Yeah, because they're going to be the next buyer. So all these countries are going to, start buying a bunch of Russian oil here. And Joseph says, hello. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining the stream, man. Good morning to Trostway as well. Thank you for joining once again. We're out here taking your questions, getting to know you guys a little better this morning. Out here in Washington, DC. Still got all those blue flags for the cancer patients on the mall. Some people running around. It is a quite a nice, cool morning here in Washington. So, Spicy's 427 says they can mess with the system and make us believe it's broken. Power 2112 says Zelensky, you established Ukrainian boys. James Body says, what war? Joseph says America needs a real independent president in 2028. Power 2112 says Ukrainian woman run. Then B4S says Zelensky is gay. And then Sup 8967 says, bro, keep skipping my chats because it's true. This is the first chat I've seen of yours. YouTube seems to filter a lot of them. So try and choose some different, maybe if there's a number that looks similar to the letter, maybe try and put that there instead so it can get through the YouTube filter. So yeah, I can't really see what it is right now though. But I would love to try and at least respond to your question or points. Lopez says Zelensky is Jewish. His parents live in Israel. Big Gucci Bombastic says it's the Jews. Power 2112 says Zelensky utilized boys. Saying that, first bro, your comments are being netted, they're being banned. Then says Israel is censoring me, and then B4S says, yes, sir. Everybody having a fun little chat this morning, talking about the war in Iran. Already up to 250 of you guys have voted in this poll. So quite a successful little dialogue we're having here right now. Would love to remind you, if it's your first time on the channel, would love if you hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like. We're pushing towards 500 subscribers. Just started this channel a couple of months ago to really shine a light on how things operate in Washington, DC. So would love to have you on the next stream and your support. So thank you very much for joining this morning and engaging in the chat. Would love to talk with you guys. Joseph says needs an Italian American president in 2028. 6612 says, oh, it's Mexican immigrants. 2112 says, so sorry for Ukrainians. Thin Wallet says, no Mussolini. And Trousway says, up 464 subs, I see, getting there. Awesome, that means we're already up 6 subs just from this stream alone. So we are making great progress there for sure. Yeah, at this rate, we might be able to get to 500 by the end of the week. That would be awesome. Because the algorithm we're starting to hit our target audience, for sure. Like, yeah, we are right wing on this channel. We are skeptical of things, but we also want to try to help fix things, and we learn about the world, right? That's why we're talking about the Kurds tonight on the stream. Going to be learning all about them. And that's why we talk in deep analytical, critical thinking aspects about our country and the world that we all reside in, right? So we're going to do something special here. Vince says, what's up from Wisconsin? What's up, Vince? Thanks for joining the stream, brother. Hope you're doing well in Wisconsin. And Anthony Colborn says, hi. Hello, Anthony. Thank you for joining the stream today, brother. Appreciate your time this morning. God help us today says Trumpstein Files. Yeah, man, lots of wild events happening in the country right now. So, already up at 268 votes on the poll. Lion Man says YouTube is censoring my comments. Yeah, a good chunk of them will just kind of get blocked. So sometimes you may have a lot of like, yeah, numbers instead of letters, or try and break the message up into a different couple messages. So, yeah, some of the stuff can make it through, but not all of it. Not all of them always get through the little firewall there. Slow down 64 says, a friend asked me yesterday what's going on in Iran. I responded with a lot of explosions. Ha. There we go. See, yep. Yeah, you just kind of got to toy with the sensor, and and just kind of get through that way. Van Bradsling says, I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with you about American allies turning towards China, and you haven't read one. Yeah, Van, it's probably blocking them, sadly. Yeah, I think that's one of the first ones I've seen from you in general as well. It's like, yeah, it seems like a lot of people are having that difficult, that challenge right now. YouTube must be, yeah, they're on extra hot or something this morning. Jesse says, no taxation without representation, and that I'm tax exempt. Joseph says, vote for an Italian American president in 2028. Must be a repeat comment. Hiroki says, triggered the fall of the West. Yeah. 2112 says, why there is no DEI in Israel. Right, yeah, it's Lopez, that one made it. Yep. Lion Man responds to it. Pawa's question about DEI, says because they need meritocracy there. You can't have incompetence there. And Hiroki says, I'm on my phone and YouTube keeps crashing from this stream. Wow. Incompetence, clarifies Lion Man. Say mine has crashed twice, huh? Well, that's strange. Hate that that's happening. How could anyone support the war in Iran? There's millions of homeless people. Hiroki asks, do I support Trump, dude? I want your... Okay. Yeah, like we're right wing here. I just think the president has upset us, I should say, with a couple major factors, like war in Iran, Epstein file cover up, just some stuff it's just unacceptable to what was the campaign promises. So it's not like we hate the guy, right? It's just more of a trying to hold him politically accountable, right? Because then if we're not there to hold them accountable, then what's the point of it all, right? So,
yeah.
All right, let's see. Van says, I want your opinion on the UK public not supporting your actions. Let's go to a couple other new comments. Martin says, for about 2 years, YouTube doesn't show me when people respond to my comments. I'm not sure why. Joseph says, I just subscribed to your YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Joseph. I appreciate your support, brother. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. That's awesome. Everybody, if you're just now joining, would love if you join Joseph by subscribing to the channel. That's the best way you can support us as we march towards our goal of 500 subscribers. This time last week, we were at like 380, so we're already, just this week alone, we're nearing 100 new subscribers. Daniel Craig says, rubbish that the UK is done. Van says, American hegemony is finished. Vince said they voted for him because he said smart people didn't like him, explains it all. I mean, if he didn't know about it, made Charlie, ooh, that's a rough comment about Charlie Kirk. What you got against Charlie? God helps us today says, you believe Trump, you're a moron. Power says, I just found you by accident. Yeah, that's how some of these streams will kind of pop up. Is that luckily I'll meet wonderful people like you guys. So says love. Lineman says shout out to USA. Love from New Zealand. Much love, man. Thanks for joining the stream this morning. Joseph says you were on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Yep, you're helping me a big part there. Thank you. Midas Came says Israel does not allow international nuclear inspections of its sites because it is not did not sign signatory of the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, maintaining a policy of nuclear ambiguity. See another shot of the Capitol building. Yeah, let's get one more. Oh, you're good, Midas came. No worries, big dog. Fred TM-E9F says, good morning. Good morning, Fred. Thank you for joining the stream. Vince said, I subscribed. Thank you very much, Vince. I appreciate your support, big man. That is awesome. Thank you. B4S says, yes, that's DC. Yep. Yeah, lineman, I'm in DC. We do streams like this. We'll walk around important infrastructure within DC, kind of show you guys what's going on there, take your questions. Also host a show at nights as well. Tuesday and Wednesday, we talk about maybe more of a niche thing. Maybe let's say, like tonight, we're talking all about the Kurds. That's our main topic. We're going to learn about the Kurds, learn about their importance for this conflict that's going on right now, but also their history and why their names, why the group's name is kind of being brought up to maybe do a ground invasion. So, and also I attend protests in Washington, D.C. as well. So if there's a protest going on, I'll usually go and try and do man on the street interviews and yeah, get some raw reaction from people, see what they're thinking, why they're at the protest that day. So. Lion Man suggests whatever you do, don't get shot. That's the goal, big man. Yep. Gotta stay here as long as possible. Always have to be aware of your surroundings too. You um, never know who people really are. LOL. Yeah. And B4S says, I guess they're putting I did that Trump stickers on the gas pumps now. Probably, yeah. It's going to kind of teeter-totter back the other way now. Especially with this, because now we're seeing the Iranians, they're laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz to even deter further against ships crossing through the strait. And as long as Iran can effectively do that, then they kind of, it's kind of the ball is kind of kicked back to the U.S. to see what they want to do next. Because it can't be like this for long. Like it can be like this for a couple days or a week or whatever, but it's going to panic the markets. It's going to panic investors. If this doesn't look like it's going to clean up or ease up a little bit. So. Martin says, I'm being censored hardcore. LOI, take it as a badge of honor, to be honest. They only cut the tongue off the man who speaks truth. Iron Man says, what's your profession and who appointed you for right wing? Not sure about the appointment part. I work in politics, though. I've been doing politics for around 8 years now. Just started this channel 3 to 4 months ago, though. Cole says we get the majority of our gas through pipelines, not shipping freight. Lineman says, man, I'm being censored hard. I hate YouTube's management. And Vince says, wait until Memorial Day for, I believe, gas or oil. Oh, guys, there's Tim Sheehy. Got him? Yeah. Holy cow. So, yeah, that's one of the cool parts about DC is that you run into these people all the time. Here. Yeah, so that's the senator that was involved in the incident last week. Yeah, I didn't want to get like too aggressive on him or whatever, really try to talk to him, but yeah, you just kind of see random people all the time walking around DC. Okay, well, hey everybody, if you have last second questions, would love to take them. Probably going to have to wrap this one up a little earlier today because I got a haircut in just a couple minutes now. Maybe I'll do, come back on for a couple moments after the haircut just to let y'all see finally it's being sliced down. But yeah, if you're just now on the stream, would love to remind you, if you're new, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and we'll be back on in a little bit probably. But if not, we'll see you tonight, and we're talking all about the Kurds. So you'll definitely want to be here for that one. Yeah, I can stay on for another minute or two probably. I'm happy to take your question. We're at 325 votes now for the poll, and it's 60-40. So don't get eaten, you're in the belly of the beast. Yeah, man, gotta be careful out there. But yeah, we'll be okay. Yeah, I'll report back with you guys soon once we get this haircut situation figured out. But yeah, it gets real. Thank you once again for hanging out with me this morning. Hopefully you got to learn a couple of things. And yeah, thank you for your support and subscribing and liking the video, and we'll be back soon, okay? All right, much love, everybody.